Howdy! Today I'm out in my backyard here in central Texas, and I want to take a little time to talk about some of the common feeder birds that might be coming to your feeders. So let's get right into it. The first one that comes to mind is the Carolina Chickadee. This little guy is very common at your feeders. He has a nice little black cap, white face, black throat, little tiny beak, and he gives a very distinctive chickadee-dee-dee song whenever he's moving around. They're very varied in their vocalizations, but usually you can pick the chickadee out of it. Now if you're further north, you might see something very, very similar to this, and that is a black-capped chickadee. They look very similar, but they don't overlap in range too much. And down here in Texas, we pretty much only get the Carolina Chickadee. Now the next one is the northern cardinal. You can actually probably hear some chipping in the background right now. The male is very obvious, bright red, great big crest, big orange bill, and black around the face. The female might not be quite as obvious, but she's still very distinct. She has the big crest, still the same body shape as the male cardinal, and still the same big orange bill. But she's just not as red. She's more warm colored overall, but still has that bright orange conical bill. Now a few things to watch out for on these. First off, the young ones don't have the orange bill. Still the same shape, but the bill is more slatey gray color. Now next, one that I've been seeing at my feeders a lot is the house finch. These are very widespread across the United States. The male is very strikingly colored. He has nice reddish, almost purplish sometimes on the face and the throat. Gives a nice, beautiful song. The vibrance of the coloration of the red can vary from place to place. I found the further west you go, the more bright red it gets, and sometimes people can confuse them with purple finches for this reason. But look at the streaking on the flanks and the amount of barring on them, and you can tell that they are a house finch, as well as listening to the song. The females are very similarly built. They're just streaky down the front. They don't have the red on the face or the throat, but everything else is the same. Very streaked, kind of a little bit blurry streaks on them. Same little conical bill with a little bit curve on the culmen or the top of the beak instead of being perfectly conical. Now finally, I want to talk about my favorite bird here in the hill country, and that is the painted bunting. Obviously the male is very easy to pick out when he's in his adult male plumage. He's got very, very vivid colors all over. He's got blue, red, green. Fairly easy bird to pick out. But the female, however, is not quite as obvious. She is overall just very green color. This can be a more vibrant green, or it can be a more muted green. Still has the same shape, and most of the other buntings that you'd expect to see are not going to be this green. They're going to be more brown and warmish color, while the only green bunting you'd expect to see in this area here in the United States is going to be the female painted bunting or the first year male painted bunting. Now there may be one that you're wondering why I didn't talk about, and that is the titmouse, the black-crested titmouse, the tufted titmouse, and a number of other titmice that are all around the United States. I want to get into a little more detail on those birds, so I'll talk about those in the future. But for now, hope you learned a little bit here. Go out, watch your feeders, see what other birds you can see, and I will see you next time.